So let's start here. This is basically the situation surrounding, love and romance in general. And I do have the Ace of Cups. This is in the reverse position. So this indicates, at the root of the problem, for those of you who are in relationships, I feel that things have either been stagnating or you feel that you're currently not emotionally fulfilled with your current partner. For those of you who are single and looking, you just feel that while there are potential candidates, none of them are, exactly meeting all your criteria, or you either feel that you can connect to them on a very superficial level, but there's no real deep connection. So that's what I'm feeling, and I feel like this is definitely a blockage to you in terms of finding a new relationship. So what is crossing you in this situation is I have the Four of Swords, and this is, crossing energy. So it's not reversed or right side up or anything like that. It's just the overall energy. And this is a card that signals, inactivity or basically taking time off. So this is rest, and also it's kind of like a minor introspection. So it's not as introspective as like the Hermit card, but it's equivalent in that, you're taking time off either to recover from something or to assess a situation, and this is a time of inactivity. And I feel like for those of you who are single, with the Ace of Cups too, there is a lack of potential partners coming into the picture. Therefore, it's hard for you to pursue them and to find, like new people to date. For those of you who are in coupled relationships where you might not feel emotionally fulfilled, it just I sense that you are actually taking a back seat in this relationship rather than being proactive and injecting that more passion, more romance into the relationship. So, for Valentine's Day, take the initiative to do something nice and do something like a romantic gesture for your partner. And for those of you that are single, get a bunch of friends and go out. I feel that well, with this situation too, a lot of you and also with the monthly tarot reading for a lot of Aries, you might have been very busy too. So you have a lot on your plate and you don't really have time for romance. Therefore, romance is, in the back of your mind. All right. So in the past position, we have this King of Cups. And he's showing up here in that those of you who are coupled, you might be in a relationship with a water sign, someone who's very emotionally very stable. He or she could also come across as somebody who holds back a little bit on the emotional front. Therefore, you're not getting that fulfillment that you want, in the current situation. For those of you who have left a relationship with this man or woman, this water sign, a lot of you have felt that, looking back in hindsight, you're feeling as if, that was a really good person. That water sign was really good for you. And they basically, provided all the emotional needs. They met all your emotional needs. Therefore, it's really hard to move on from this person. And therefore, you feel that, he or she has set you up, and now your expectations are so high that you can't find another person to meet your emotional needs. So, I mean, we all learn from our past relationships, so I feel that this is a great energy. In the position of the outcome, what is coming in, this is not the outcome, I'm sorry, this is what's coming in immediately. I do have the Seven of Pentacles, and it's in the reverse position. So this indicates that in the process of, dealing with all of this, and on top of your busy workload too, you feel that you have to either reduce the workload in order to achieve this, in order to have more time to go out, or in order to have more time to invest into your relationships. Okay, so you're at a period where you're reassessing if the relationship, if your couple is still meeting your expectations, and then what you can do to inject more passion and more playfulness into the relationship. And as well, for those of you who are single, you're reassessing how you can change your life in order to get that fulfillment that you want. So this is still a time where you're not acting quite yet. You're still deciding, and this is coming in this month, all right? In terms of this is crowning energy, or what you're hoping to achieve. This is your aspirations in this situation. We have the Queen of Wands, and the Queen of Wands is a very fiery energy, and you're hoping to inject passion and liveliness into the relationship for those of you who are coupled. For those who are single, you want to take a very light-hearted approach when it comes to love and relationship and dating in general. So this is quite a very nice energy, and it's actually very compatible with you being a fire sign yourself. So you want to meet a person to date who is as lighthearted and as expansive as you are, but at the same time, this is a very queenly, a very an older energy, so they don't behave irresponsibly. So this is, very good-hearted fun, but in a very responsible manner. So that's great. All right, so in terms of your subconscious, things that might be in the picture that might be influencing this situation that you're not aware of, I do have the Two of Wands. And I know that the traditional tarot gives a different interpretation of this, but every time I see this card, I just have to go with my instincts here. And it's a situation in which, he's looking at, he's got everything in his hands, okay? So this is especially true for those who are in relationships. I just feel that, you've got that relationship in the bag, like you've got it, and you have full control over it, but then you're looking elsewhere and you're thinking that this relationship is not living up to your expectations. This is mainly for those of you who are coupled. For those of you who are single, you're looking at a situation where you have a lot of passion, a lot of talents even, and you have a lot to offer to a potential partner. I mean, you're playful, you're great, you're honest, and you're very lively. You have a very vibrant, exuberant energy, and you have a lot to offer in a relationship, and you're looking as if, why aren't others coming to me the way that, that I want? So I feel that, this entire spread here with the cross is just an overall an energy of like dissatisfaction. So if those of you who are in a couple relationship, this is the month for you to be a little more proactive towards approaching your relationship, and in terms of introducing more passion and more fun, and to reinvigorate the relationship, okay? And for those that are still looking, that are still single, just know you still have a lot on your plate already. So make sure you should, get that settled down first. But let's go through the rest of the cards. Okay, so here, this is the general advice from the universe. We do have the Page of Wands. And the Page of Wands is a very, in the reverse position too. Page of Wands are usually, it's a very young, very playful, very new energy. And in terms of, the reversal, it could also mean like dishonesty as well, because fire signs are extremely, extremely honest and straightforward. So in this situation, the advice is for those of you who are dissatisfied in a coupled relationship, it is time for you to basically face up to this fact and have a talk with your partner. For those of you who are still single, when you're out in the dating scene, it is very important for you not to misrepresent yourself. And at the same time, don't move too fast at this point. I mean, it's appropriate, Mercury in retrograde again into the 11th of February. But it's actually very important for you to not misrepresent yourself. And at the same time, it's important for you to put yourself out there, and also, be honest about what you want. If you're just interested in a casual relationship, it's important to announce that, And if you're looking for a relationship or anything like that, just be very honest with your intentions. And I feel that strongly with this Page of Wands, because he's inverted and he's also a very young energy, okay? In terms of your external environment, we do have the Chariot in reverse. And I just feel that with the Chariot, it indicates movement, and you have a lot on your plate right now in terms of work. And for those who are coupled, these two are not overly romantic cards, you know, the Ace of Cups is reversed. So I just feel that opportunities for you to meet others and to get out there might be restricted just because you're busy. And as well, mobility might be a big factor in this. So either you're living away from, you know, the main party scene where you can go out and just, you know, have a night, have a girls or a guys night out and things like that. So there is some issue with mobility. And the Chariot card is also the card of Cancer. It's in the reverse position. So in this situation, the external environment, I just feel that there is some blockages regarding, you know, having emotional connections with other people. Like people are just not in tune with their emotions, or you're ending up with people who are who can operate on a very shallow, superficial level, and you know, you don't feel like much satisfaction from that. And I feel like overall, with these both very young energy, I feel that you're around people who don't really know quite what they want, who haven't really traveled, well, not travel, but who haven't really lived their life yet, so who aren't on the same mental plane as you are, in order for you to have any type of a meaningful relationship or any type of meaningful interaction or rapport with them. And this here, this is the Five of Wands, and this is in the area of your hopes and fears, okay? So the the Five of Wands. Excuse me. So with the Five of Wands, it's also a situation where you're competing with others, but this is just, you know, in the spirit of competition. It's nothing malicious, or there's nothing that indicates, you know, any malice or any like bad intentions. Okay, so again, corroborated with these very, very young energy, I just feel that you're going to feel as if the people that you deal with are not going to see eye to eye with you on a lot of things. And for those of you who are in a coupled relationship as well, there might be, you know, a drought in terms of passion, just because you don't see eye to eye on a lot of things. And you know, this indicates like a more just like a daily, a very monotonous kind of interaction, whereas, you know, you're craving that deeper connection. So it just feels like you're going through the day-to-day motions, and you're not getting your emotional needs met. You're not getting that really deep rooted connection in which, you know, you bear your soul to the other person, and vice versa. So you might be doing that for the other person, but you feel that, you know, they're not doing the same for you. But I feel strongly, you know, if you're in a relationship with a water sign, I just feel that they're giving it their all, but there might be some blockages on your part, okay? So make sure to incorporate that into your relationship if you're in a stable relationship or marriage. And for those who are single, this energy is playing out in that there actually might even be, if you get out there and start dating, there will actually be a lot of people interested in you. So you're sparking a lot of interest. You might attract somebody who has a lot of people after them, or this energy can be inverted in that you're attracting a lot of people and they're vying for your attention. So this is overall pretty good energy. So in the hopes and fears, this is still, you know, what you're hoping to get out of it. And you're hoping for a lot of dynamic energy. You're hoping to meet a lot of dynamic people. But on the fear side, you're starting to realize that maybe, you know, they don't have enough to keep you happy long term, okay? So that's something you need to grapple with. But like I said, you have to take the action first and then deal with the problems along the way. So it's just a matter of you reassessing and then seeing what you want to do and how you want to approach dating and love and romance this month, all right? So in terms of your outcome, so the first card that I drew was the Ten of Swords, and that's not a very good outcome. So I drew two other cards to basically get a better assessment of this situation, okay? So, with the Ten of Swords, I just feel that for those of you who are in a relationship, I just want you to be, completely clear and honest to see if this relationship still serves you. And I know that a lot of breakups end because, one side like messed up and did the other side wrong. Like one person would do the other person wrong. But it's not always that it's not always that dramatic and that drastic. There could be like a mutual parting of the ways in which both sides can still remain friends. Sometimes we work really well as friends, but not so much as, not so well in a partnership, especially in a love relationship. If we're incompatible, fire and water, or if we're in a situation where our needs aren't being met by the other person, it's nothing that they did that's wrong. It's just, incompatibilities and just opposite value systems. I feel, there's a huge dichotomy here between, for those who are in a relationship, between you and the other person, the other party, the person that you're romantically involved with. And for those who are single, there's like a great difference in values with you and the people that are in your midst. Therefore, it hinders your ability to date them. Okay. So I just feel that it's time for an honest assessment to see if you really want to go further with this relationship. And I just feel that, with the Six of Wands here in the outcome position, it's actually very good. So it's just a matter of assessing, making a decision, and then getting yourself out there. Because whatever you decide to do is going to have a very spectacular outcome, okay? So it is definitely a month in which you reassess your relationship and to see how feasible it is long term and how it meets your needs. And for those who are single, you have to get out there. So don't be afraid to take chances because when problems arise later on, then you can always go back and you can always like tackle problems as they come. You guys are very good problem solvers. So take the initiative to actually get out there, mingle, get yourself in situations. And it's a numbers game. So the more people you meet, the more likely it is that you will find somebody that meets your criteria. All right. So with the Two of Swords here too in the reverse position. So upright, it signifies like an indecision. So a point where you're not sure where to go. I feel that in the reverse position, things are actually quite clear in how you want to proceed with this situation. So if it's no longer serving you, leave it behind because there will be other contenders for your affection and your love. And overall, with this victory card, you're going to have a splendid, splendid month when it comes to love and romance and getting out there. Or, reinvigorating that love relationship that has been losing its sparkle and shine, okay?